NATO nation hands Kyiv missile blueprints. Now Putin threatens a visible reaction as tensions with Britain rise. Britain's drone factories now directly in Russia's crosshairs, as Moscow warns against deeper military support for Ukraine. Russia sends a chilling threat, warning that unknown sources may attack as Britain expands its defense role in Ukraine. Are UK factories making weapons for Ukraine now at risk of being targeted by Russia, as Moscow escalates its warnings? Storm over Burnham's Ukraine tour. Will Putin unleash a shadow war on the UK as Britain deepens support for Kyiv? Burnham's Ukraine gamble to backfire? Putin warns of a fiery and potentially deadly response as tensions between London and Moscow rise. Amid tensions over the UK supplying Kyiv with missile blueprints, Russia has issued a fresh warning over Britain's growing military support. A former Russian diplomat warned Britain that its drone factories could face the risk of attacks as support for Ukraine expands. Speaking to BBC Newsnight, former Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Andrei Fedorov reportedly made the claim amid rising tensions. Andrei Fedorov reportedly warned that unknown sources could attack UK drone hubs involved in producing weapons for Ukraine. Fedorov further claimed Putin is facing growing internal pressure to act against Britain swiftly as London deepens its support for Kyiv. The Kremlin commentator also warned that a semi-military response could potentially be on the brink, raising fears of further escalation. The former Russian diplomat said, and I quote, "Sooner or later, there might be not only verbal, but maybe some visible reaction from Russia towards the UK. There are different discussions how it should look like. It might be so-called technical reaction, maybe some hackers attack from unknown source. Not from official level, of course. There might be different political steps, and I cannot exclude 100% that there might be some semi-military, for example. For example, something might happen with enterprises, with the factories which are producing drones for Ukraine, etc. They could be attacked, not by Russia, but by from unknown sources." End quote. Earlier, Russia warned that intelligence and targeting data was being gathered to destroy Ukrainian missile production sites, adding to Moscow's threats. Russia also accused Prime Minister Andy Burnham of putting the UK into direct confrontation with Moscow through deeper military support for Ukraine. The UK Prime Minister is also expected to discuss further Ukraine aid with Trump during his first visit to the United States. Russia has issued a fresh warning to Britain over its expanding military support for Ukraine, raising fears of a sharper confrontation. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Britain's growing role is further escalating the war, rather than helping create conditions for peace. Moscow claimed the UK's support could make any potential peace settlement with Ukraine even more difficult to achieve. Peskov also hit out at Britain for reportedly sharing classified missile technology with Ukraine, escalating Moscow's objections. The Kremlin said sharing Scalp missile data would add fuel to the fire, warning that Britain was deepening its involvement. Britain is also helping Ukraine build up its own long-range missile production, potentially reducing Kyiv's reliance on foreign supplies. Peskov warned Russia could target facilities involved in Ukraine's missile program, raising the stakes over Britain's support.
Ukraine is attempting to strike at commercial trade infrastructure, thereby pursuing a wide variety of objectives. The Kyiv regime is failing in this endeavor. Crucially, this prevents the Kyiv regime from having any influence whatsoever on the dynamics that everyone is observing on the front lines. As for the strikes, they once again highlight the true nature of the Kyiv regime. And here, of course, it is essential to recall the president's words, that they themselves opened Pandora's box, and now they must face the consequences. The people in Kyiv are feeling the consequences every day, every night, and will continue to do so. In regards to support measures, as you have seen, the government is certainly monitoring this situation very closely. The government is considering and developing, together with representatives of the business community, various options for providing support in such a challenging situation. Extremely negative. Britain is involved in this war. It is involved in this war on the side of the Kyiv regime. Britain is methodically and regularly adding fuel to the fire and methodically and regularly plotting schemes to prevent even the slightest progress in the peaceful settlement process. This is precisely what the United Kingdom is doing. Our armed forces are carrying out the necessary work, gathering the relevant intelligence to identify the production sites of such missiles and other military equipment, and taking measures to destroy these sites.
UK PM Andy Burnham is visiting war-battered Kyiv and has held talks with a coalition of the willing on continued support for Ukraine. Andy Burnham rejected Moscow's threats and vowed that Britain would continue backing Ukraine's defense despite Russia's warnings. Britain is also expected to announce additional support for Ukraine's long-range missile capabilities, strengthening Kyiv's strike potential. London claimed its plan could reduce Kyiv's dependence on foreign missile supplies, giving Ukraine greater control over its own arsenal.
What I see before me today is an unbroken country. I hope, as Prime Minister, that this will not be my last visit here. It is my first overseas visit, and I chose to do this, and I hope it tells you something about the importance that I attach to your cause. I will honour every commitment my country has made to Ukraine in full. We will continue to build the 100-year partnership between our two countries, bringing together our cities and our schools, our businesses and our communities, learning from each other and growing together for decades to come. And despite Russia's outrageous threats to my country, we will continue our support for Ukraine's defence. I know you need more help to protect your skies and your civilians. I know how hard the winters have been and the need to be ready this year when the nights draw in. That's why later today I will take up the reins of the coalition of the willing alongside President Macron and Chancellor Merz. I am determined that we will work together to deliver the support you need, Mr. President, stronger than ever. That means not just air defence, but stopping Russia launching their missiles in the first place, with sanctions that cut off their military supply chains, with support to destroy missiles before they are launched against Ukrainian cities, and with help for Ukraine to develop new technologies and deepen our industrial cooperation. This is the moment to keep up the pressure on Russia. The moment to squeeze their ability to fund this illegal war. This is how we will speed up their realization of something we all know already, that Russia cannot win this war. That the cry for sovereignty and independence 35 years ago is stronger today than ever, and it will never be silenced. You are asking for nothing more than the chance to live your lives in peace, to build a better future for yourselves and for your children, to hold your own future in your own hands. This is your right. This is what you deserve, and we will be with you all the way until that day comes. Thank you. Slava Ukraini!
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.